My name is Jacquelyn Zampella, and I'm here with the film I Am. I Am is basically a comedy director, well-known, Tom Shadyac. It's a kind of a dual-edged sword. It explores his journey through a life-altering experience. He decides that he needs to kind of figure out what's going on in the human experience, look at things deeper and see if things we know in our society to be quote-unquote true are actually truths. So he interviews poets, philosophers, artists, religious leaders, and kind of tries to figure out what's wrong with the world and what can we do about it. I got involved with the project when it started 2.5 years ago. I was attending Pepperdine University, and I was about to graduate, and I had Tom. He teaches at Pepperdine. I had him as a professor, and my last semester at school, so my senior year, second semester, he started the project and asked me if I wanted to be a part of it as a third camera operator because I was interested in cinematography. And I got kind of ushered under his little wing and brought on board and ended up starting with the third camera and then dabbled in the editing and kind of just all took off from there. Tom Shadyac is, I don't even know where to start. If there's anybody in the world I know who is actually practicing what they preach every single day and walking the walk, it would be Tom. Not only is he awesome to work with as far as being a great boss and film, I've learned a lot about film from him, but all film aside, if we weren't making a documentary, I've learned more about life from this man. He reads, most people read books for fun. He literally studies these poetry translations and the Tao and the Bible, and he's so well versed in everything he talks about that it's like hanging out with Rumi. It's like hanging out with Mary Oliver, hanging out with Hafiz. You get all in this package that is Tom. And of course everybody knows he's generous and he's kind, and it's been really, really, really fun to work. Plus he's like a court jester. I think somebody described him this way one time. A court jester, a preacher, a director, and a big brother, all wrapped in one. You get everything from him. He's really, really fun to work with. As a teacher, he is awesome. They started off his class because he's a film director. They wanted his class to be basically about filmmaking. So the first semester he taught at Pepperdine, it was called the filmmaking and comedy or something. And then 4 semesters later, he finally got them to change the name to Potpourri in Life for 100, because basically students would come to his class not wanting to talk about film, but wanting to talk about life and what to do and about their passions. And everybody confides in him and trusts him, and he makes class so fun. There's no tests, there's no grading. Everybody gets an A. You show up, you converse, you participate, and you're getting an A, because it's basically unlearning in his class. So there's no pressure, there's no, you have to get this GPA, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's very much a come as you are, and we'll figure out where you are. And he likes to learn from his students rather than stand there and teach. He has a conversation with the kids and learns from them where they are and what he can help them do to facilitate their passions. My passions, well, it started off that I liked cinematography. So I got to, work the third camera on this documentary. And then they were like, we don't have an editor. Can we need someone to log the footage? And I was like, okay, I'll try that. Can't be that bad. So I did some tutorials and taught myself Final Cut, and that is where I have come alive. I love to edit. It is like directing, after everything's shot, because you end up with hundreds of hours of footage, and now you have to tell a story with that footage. And it, for me, has become so much fun. It's just such a creative way to express anything, and I love to travel. So now that we get to tour with the documentary, I'm getting to live another dream, which is just travel and see places and people, and it's a lot of fun. Port Townsend is amazing. I have never been up to the Pacific this far up to the Pacific Northwest. The people here have been so welcoming. The festival, we premiered our film at Mountain Film and Telluride, and this is kind of like that same mountain film vibe, but thrown onto the water. You have the beautiful port, and then you have the mountains behind you. And we flew in, and it was pouring rain. And being in LA where it's sunny 320 days out of the year, it was so nice to come into town and be wind and rain, and the town itself is beautiful, but the people are even more beautiful. Everybody we've met has been super sweet. The festival has been so gracious and so nice. It's just been really, really welcoming. It's been a great experience for us. Some of the challenges working on I Am definitely include editing. When you're editing a lot of footage, sometimes editing systems tend to crash, and we've had not so much fun with that. Also, we talked to so many great people. Desmond Tutu, Tom Hartman, Elizabeth Sattouris, Howard Zinn, Noam Chomsky. You have all these great minds and thinkers, and you literally want to put in every word they say, and you have to make a 70-minute movie out of that. So how do you take, 80 hours of footage and pick the best of the best? And that, I think, was the hardest part. It was picking and choosing what to tell in our story. And then there's also the obvious challenges of traveling. We somehow have some bad luck with traveling where we will end up being stuck in Denver overnight for no reason because this flight is canceled or that flight is canceled, So it's really taught me, I think, and all of us to be flexible. And we'll get somewhere and find out we're speaking and we weren't going to show the movie. And then they're like, oh, wait, you now have time to show the movie. So great, we'll just make everything happen. So it's kind of a learning on the fly experience, but it's been fun. The business of independent filmmaking. I'm not sure when the next time I want to do my next documentary is. And I know for Tom, it's been a totally different experience because he's used to the world of high budget feature films, Liar Liar, Ace Ventura, Nutty Professor, Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty, big budget movies. And now where he works with a studio and he works with an agency, and now he literally is the producer, the director, he is the studio, he is the investor. And they also take a lot longer to make. We've been working on this project for 2.5 years and we are this close to being finished. There's a few more rights we have to secure, but it's quite a process. And I think that maybe I'll try to dabble in some other styles of filmmaking before I would jump back into doing another documentary. 5 years from now, I would like to be having as much fun as I'm having right now, whether that's editing, whether that's shooting, whether that's directing. I just want to be lucky enough to be in the position I'm in right now. God willing, I will be having as much fun as I am because I'm seriously having the time of my life doing what I'm doing. Yes, I love to bike, like road cycling. Just 2 months ago, I did a 100-mile bike ride for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. I just started doing something called CrossFit, which is like a really fun, extreme gym thing. I love photography, which is kind of what the cinematography came into play, and traveling. If I could blend all those things together, I would have the dream job. I just don't know what that is yet. Port Townsend Film Festival. Let's see. Jeanette always keeps saying, she looks at the filmmakers every time and she's like, it's because of you that this festival happens. And I feel like, no, it's because of, the volunteers who are sitting in the Retrovo. It's because of Jeanette. It's because of Rocky, who operates the Rose and the Rosebud. Like, people like that make this festival happen. And they don't just make it happen, they make it fly. People are so generous, they're so nice, they treat us so wonderfully. So thank you all, because you make this festival happen. We are just honored to show up and be a part of it. So again, my name is Jacquelyn Zampella. I'm with the movie I Am. Check out our website, www.iamthedoc.com. That's iamthedoc.com. And look for us in theaters in February of 2011, and hopefully we'll see you back here next year in Port Townsend.